Have you been waiting for the right moment? Now is the time to take the next step in your machine quilting journey with acrylic ruler quilting. Have you considered improvisational ruler quilting? This is an example. This entire quilt was quilted with improvisational ruler quilting, which to me means very little to no marking at all. Yet there's precision. You know those pesky reference lines that many of us avoid trying to learn? Well, I want to help you learn how to use those lines so that you can have more creative freedom. It means more time stitching, less time marking, and more the quilts that you dream about being finished. Well, what does that look like? Improv ruler quilting, I like to use the reference lines to help me create beautiful designs that I create as I quilt. Now, I do have to start with a simple structure. 1, I need to know how to use the reference lines. 2, I want to have a foundation, just like building a house. You hire someone to build a house. The house is built, but it's empty. That's what we do with improv ruler quilting. We create a structure, and then we go in and we decorate that structure. What does that look like? Let's start with a simple straight line. I will create a design like this. This is a branching line that from one end to the other end, I stitched a straight line. But that line went in different directions. It branched off to create the foundational structure for the improv. After I had the foundation, I can decorate the rest of the quilt any way I want. What about 2 lines? Because we don't have to just stitch 1 line, we can stitch 2. This is a 2-line branch structure where 2 lines were stitched in 2 different directions to give me a very different look. Once that foundation is set, I can repeat that foundation within the remaining space. I can stitch echoing lines any distance I want. So you just saw an example of a 1-line structure, a 2-line structure. What about a 3-line structure? And this is just the beginning. Let's take a look at a 3-line structure. This is going to blow your mind because it's going to show you what's possible. This is what you can do with a 3-line structure. Now remember, each line could be anything we want, any direction we want. This started with 3 lines. Each of those lines had a very unique characteristic, and then that characteristic was repeated throughout the remaining space. Repetition, echoing lines. I think you get the picture. But it's not the only thing that we can do with acrylic ruler quilting and improvisational quilting. Depending upon the ruler, and I use the Stitchline Ruler, which has not only a straight edge, it has a wavy side. Let's take a look at the ruler that I use to create these designs. I designed this ruler so that we can stitch amazing designs. Take a look. See those reference lines? Those reference lines were uniquely put into the ruler so that you and I can stitch improvisational quilting with the Stitchline Ruler. It's made for home machines and for long arms, and I can't wait to share these techniques with you at Patchwork Power. It's the next CT Publishing virtual event. I'm going to show you how to use the Stitchline Ruler. I'll do some demos. I'll show you how the line structures get started, and I'm going to show you how you can use the wavy side to make beautiful improvisational wavy line quilting. Here's an example. Isn't that amazing? Again, I'm just using a foundation to get me started. The rest of it is quilted any way I want. I can make the spaces in between the lines bigger or smaller. I can put free motion quilting in the middle of the structure. It's up to me. I'm decorating my quilt any way I want, and I want you to do the same. That's what improvisational ruler quilting is all about. I'm Geraldine Wilkins, the Living Water Quilter, and I can't wait to meet you at Patchwork Power. There, you and I are going to talk about improv ruler quilting. Structured improv ruler quilting is where freedom meets precision. You will have an amazing time learning how to use those lines and see what they can really do. And you'll have freedom to quilt because you won't have to mark lines. I don't like to mark on my quilts. I don't want to spend hours doing that. Do you? No, we don't. So let's learn how to use those reference lines together and learn how we can use that skill for improv ruler quilting. I can't wait to see you at Patchwork Power.